Hello and welcome back to the 3 Independence channel. It's Nathan back with another video for you today. And today I'm going to be breaking down the Week 3 Thursday Night Football game between the New York Football Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. Before we get into all of that, please go ahead and like and subscribe and share this video with somebody that you care about. We are currently at 98 subscribers. We are 2 away of my season goal of hitting 100 subscribers. So please be the one to get us over that hump. We're so close. We're right there, guys. We're right there. But let's just get straight into the game. So this is going to be a tough game. We'll start on the New York Giants side. It's going to be a tough game for the New York Giants because the San Francisco 49ers is going to be a very similar team to the Dallas Cowboys, which is a team that obviously kicked their ass. And so for the Giants, not only I feel like they're going to struggle going against this defense, with the fully healthy lineup, but they're also going to be without Saquon Barkley and Andrew Thomas, two of the best players at their position, and two huge pieces of this offense. So offensively, I'm just not sure how they're going to be able to put up points and necessarily move the ball great. However, I do have this weird feeling that this Giants team is going to move the ball surprisingly well. I can't necessarily describe why I feel it. It's just a weird gut feeling where I think they're going to move the ball well. It's either going to result in, I feel like, a lot of field goals or a lot of really shallow punts. But I feel like that the Giants are low-key going to have a surprisingly productive game on offense, even though it may not necessarily correlate to points. And then when we look at the 49ers, while I do think that the Giants do have a solid defense and a decent defensive line to really stop the run and try to contain Christian McCaffrey. When you got Kyle Shanahan calling plays, as many weapons as they do, and rookie corners, that could be a recipe for disaster. But I feel like this Giants team is just going to play tough. Obviously, they got their ass kicked against Dallas, and they really came back and fought their way back into that game against the Arizona Cardinals. To me, that shows a sign of good coaching and having a good culture to have that resolve to come back in that game. So I don't expect this New York Giants team to roll over and die to the 49ers. However, I'm just not sure if they're going to be able to fully stop them like they want or need to if they actually want to have a chance to win this game. And then obviously I feel like Nick Bosa is just going to absolutely cook, and this defensive line is really going to get after Daniel Jones. So when we kind of look through everything, I'm going to say that the San Francisco 49ers are going to win 23-13. I don't know if it's going to be a backdoor cover or if the Giants or the Niners, are going to have, some late points to inflate the score. I'm not fully sure, but I'm going 23-13. I think it might be a lower scoring game than some people expect. I imagine it's not going to be a super exciting Thursday night football game to watch. But I just don't know if the Giants, especially with no Andrew Thomas and no Saquon Barkley, have the horses to compete against the 49ers and to take them out. But I think, as I said, they'll have a productive day on offense. Their defense will do at least a good enough job of slowing down the Niners at least a little bit. I could see a real weird, situation where the Giants win. I'm not going to bet on it. If it happened, I wouldn't be surprised, though, because I could see them, low-key making the 49ers offense struggle and moving the ball very well. But I'm definitely not betting on it. And, if it happens, would I be surprised? Yes. But would I be surprised? Also, no, if that makes sense. But overall, as I said, 49ers 23-13. I think they'll be able to win this one and cruise into week 4 with an undefeated record. And if they really beat the brakes off the Giants too, I could see that happen. I could really see this going a whole host of ways. But 23-13, hitting the under is what I am going for. And now I'll go ahead and tell you some of my favorite props for the week. That's something we've been doing, even though we're without Aiden. I'll still go ahead and do them. And there's not a whole lot I like. Just as I said, I could kind of see this game going a whole different host of ways. But if I am going to bet on any props, I'm honestly going to throw some bets on the New York Giants and them to be somewhat productive passing the ball and moving the ball through the air. So Daniel Jones, I see it right now at 32.5. I think it was pass attempts. I like the over on that. I do think that this team is not going to be able to run the ball for shit with Matt Breida. So if they want to move the ball, it's going to have to be through the air. Isaiah Hodgins is a wide receiver from Houston, so his line was at like 2.5 catches and like 30 yards. I would take the over on both of those. I do think he'll have a productive game. Darren Waller's at 4.5 receptions, a guy that's been banged up and is kind of the main focal point of that passing offense. I think he might be slowed down by the Niners, especially when you got Fred Warner. So I wouldn't really touch his lines, but I'd say Isaiah Hodgins over on receptions and yards, as well as Daniel Jones over pass completions or pass attempts. And I'll go passing yards too. I do think that, as I said, Giants, I think they're going to move the ball surprisingly well. It's just going to be if they can score points, which I don't think they're going to do. Uh, but yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Just a little quick one, getting my Thursday night football predictions out there for you. I am going to go ahead and talk about some NFL news real quick, just kind of get my thoughts on it out there. Nick Chubb is going down for at least a season. Will definitely be longer than that. Could theoretically even be the end of his career. That was a brutal knee injury. And obviously, that's going to affect the Browns' offense and how explosive it is. But I do think they'll be all right. They did sign Kareem Hunt, who's going to give them at least a serviceable, adequate, guy in the building who has some experience there in that scheme. But I imagine that Browns offense is going to look fairly similar to what we saw with Nick Chubb, just a little bit less explosive. And then Cam Akers was traded to the Minnesota Vikings. That's such a meaningless trade. Obviously, the Rams didn't like him, and they traded like nothing to get him. Like, clearly, Cam Akers is just not in favor in the NFL executives and front offices across the league. So between him and Alexander Madison, you'll get okay running back play. I think Alexander Madison has kind of proved that he's in this kind of too good to be a backup, but not good enough to be a starter kind of tier of player. And so I guess maybe just having Cam Akers in there to give you a little bit more of a reliable option won't hurt this team. It's worth taking the flyer on, but I'm really not expecting the Vikings to suddenly have some super explosive rushing game with Cam Akers. I could be wrong. I could be surprised. I just don't really see it happening. That's the main NFL news I want to talk about. But yeah, if you stuck around for this long, please go ahead and like and subscribe. As I said, we're so close to hitting our goal. So please go ahead and be the one to get us over that mark. If you stuck around for this long, thank you very much for watching.